In July of 2025, I had the opportunity to visit the National Military Museum in Soesterberg, the Netherlands, just outside of Utrecht. It was an amazing experience, and I wanted to capture some of it here to give you a better understanding of why you should visit this location. Okay, I got our tickets. There's a nice little museum store section here. And the most important question is, where are the bathrooms? So the bathrooms are right back here and to the left. So I'm just walking through the gift shop here to the museum entrance. A nice big map of one of the most impressive things when you first enter and get through the gift shop is just an overlook of tons of planes, military vehicles, cannons, everything that you can imagine is inside that building, and then the bigger vehicles are actually outside the building. So you could spend hours just wandering around, looking at the vehicles and learning about all the different things that they've used over the years. The best thing, though, is that it's not just about vehicles in this museum. There are tons of exhibits, so I want to take you through some of the best ones.
Het vernuft van deze linies zit niet alleen in het onder water zetten van het land, maar dat dit gecontroleerd gebeurt, overal tegelijk, in één aaneengesloten gebied en nergens meer dan enkele decimeters diep. Onmogelijk om doorheen te waden, maar
The first exhibit I really enjoyed was this room featuring all the different branches of the armed services. They were all great, looked phenomenal, put together really well. I especially liked the airmen section that had some features about the American side of Camp New Amsterdam, which my father was a part of. The treasure room didn't provide a ton of information about the artifacts in here, but the way it was put together was really cool, and I enjoyed seeing all the different things from different countries that were acquired through acts of military service. I've had the opportunity to visit a lot of museums in my time, and the way this museum is put together rivals the Smithsonian and some of the other biggest military museums out there. Rooms like this, where you have interactive stories, really blew me away on how much detail was put into it. So the Military Stories Museum section that I'm in now, it's just a bunch of cubicles, and you sit down, you push a button, and it basically tells you the story of a soldier's life, all different soldiers, all different ages, all different wars. So this room is really cool. You could easily spend an hour in this room if you really wanted to experience all the different soldier experiences. So yeah, give yourself time for that here at the Military Museum in Soesterberg, Holland. One thing I really like about the museum here is that all the rooms are connected with kind of a flow of these arrows. So there's stuff to see in the center areas, but as long as you're following the arrows, you should be able to get a good idea that you're seeing everything that you need to see. And each section has a really nice sign and explanation, and then different presentation times. This has a bunch of these cool little games here that you can play. Different types of battle scenarios, and you pick what you're going to attack with. It's pretty cool. It's part of this display. This map room was filled with just a ton of scale models and locations around the Netherlands that you could interact with, and it made it really quite neat. During our visit, there was a special photo exhibition by Eddie Van Wessel, and it was all interesting pictures and stories about the Ukraine occupation and the battles going on there. This is a pretty intense, interactive exhibition where you walk through different rooms, different stories, and it just shared some of the impacts on all different aspects of military, civilians, and everyone who is impacted by the horrors of war. There was just an absolute ton to see here, and I know the website says plan on about 4 hours to see everything. Honestly, if you are a military enthusiast or traveling with someone who is a military enthusiast, I would say it would take a lot more time than that. Just the interior of the building took us around 2.5 hours, and we were going pretty quick because we had other things to do that day. But there was an entire outside that we barely had time to explore. So give yourself some time and really research everything else that's available besides the museum itself, because you're going to find that just getting through the museum is one thing, and then you could spend equal amounts of time out there in the other things that are in the exterior of the building. The vehicle area just seems like it goes on forever. They have really captured every type of vehicle from every type of age for you to look at. There's information in front of each for you to learn more, and it just really expands your knowledge of all the different types of things used by the military from the early days all the way to current times. This museum also has a cafe. It's got quite a few options, some hot, some cold. Of course, it's cafe prices at a museum, so be prepared for that. I wouldn't come super hungry, but it is something to just take the edge off if you're feeling hungry after wandering around the museum for a while. Got a lot of really great kid area activities, little walking trails all throughout. Big water play area over there. Very impressive. Maybe it's just because it's a Saturday, but you can drive a tank, I guess. Oh, this is the whole military regiment training, so there are some shuttle vehicles available right outside the main museum staging area here, and they will take you over to the arena, and where you can drive military vehicles, you can do all sorts of activities. They are an additional charge, so prepare for that. But there are a few vehicles on the outside that you can enjoy. We were fortunate enough to come on a day with fantastic weather in July, and I'd highly recommend, no matter what the weather, try to make your way around the exterior of the museum and see some of these different exhibits and vehicles out there, because there's quite a bit that you should check out. The children's play area is at the bottom level, underneath kind of all the main exhibits on the top, and it is phenomenal. There are all sorts of things for kids to play on here with the military theme, which I know I would have been ecstatic about as a young boy. As you wander around the bottom as well, there's just little exhibits hidden inside, like this curtain area, and you just go in and there's just a whole nother exhibit there, which is pretty phenomenal. Out front, like without your ticket, you can go explore a couple different areas, and I'm just right out front here. We've got a little bunker back there. A thing here. Oh, okay. And you can. Oh. All sorts of little areas to play around in. Great place for kids. And so we say goodbye to the National Military Museum here in Soesterberg, only having seen about 40% of it, but that took a few hours, and had a little meal, some snacks, and walked around and ready to move on to the next location. But what a great place to visit when you're in the Utrecht area.